Oh, that's completely tilted. That looks better, I think. So, hello you guys, it's Danny and welcome back to a normal video. I've been doing lives a lot for the past couple of months and I've really been loving it and enjoying it. And I also want to integrate more of these shorter, more structured videos back into my channel. And yes, that's a short announcement. So today's topic is all about fear and how fear is actually a gift to us, which is kind of bizarre that I'm saying that because I think pretty much my entire life, even recently, I've always had the thought of if I didn't feel fear, if my fear was just gone from my body, then I would be able to do everything I wanted to do. I'd be able to easily follow my intuition. I'd be able to take action on all the ideas and projects that I want to pursue. I'd be able to live in alignment so much more easily. And the real reason I'm making this video is because yesterday, after I finished my live, I was really called to go into a meditation. And normally in meditation, I sort of just sit down and feel and think and then wake up from thinking and then feel again, and it's just a whole process of that. And every now and then I talk to myself out loud, almost like audible journaling. But yesterday I felt really, really called to sing. So I was singing to myself through whatever words came to me, whatever melody came to me, and I started singing this really ballady song about fear. And I'm not gonna sing for you right now. Oh, fear, my love, my home for us. Let me hold you, let me love you. Oh, fear, fear, my dear. Hello, Editing Danny here. So, in editing my video, I watched the clip where I decided to sing the song that kind of gave me the download about this whole fear thing. It's interesting how my own video is giving me the opportunity to practice what I preach. When I watched that clip, the immediate thoughts that go through my head are, people are gonna think I'm so arrogant. People are gonna think that I think I'm an amazing singer and they're gonna listen to this clip and think that I'm not good. Like there's moments where I'm a little off key or moments where it just doesn't fully sound right to me. And I know I'm being really hard on myself. So there's a lot of fear in terms of like sharing that clip of me, but I'm keeping it in because I'm willing to feel my fear and embrace the cringe. That's all I have to say. I love you and thank you. Basically, I was singing this love song to fear and I got really, really emotional. I started crying, literally, like a baby. It's weird to hear your, grown-up voice cry like a literal infant. It sounds obnoxious, but I'm home alone, so it's great. I love crying. As I was welcoming in this fear, I had this epiphany or this realization that fear is actually love in disguise. It sounds so bizarre because fear is such a powerful and intimidating energy, and our biological response to fear is to run away, to pull away, or to fight it, to beat it down into submission. But the thing is, the more we resist fear, or the more we run away from fear, the more we give our energy to fear. And what fear almost does is put it in like a time capsule. So it creates this packaging or this gift, and within it is this pure potential energy, this energy that is capable, that you are able to do whatever you want with. But the thing is, in order to access that potential energy, you have to feel the fear, not fall into the story of fear, What are you doing? Okay, I need to focus. Not fall into the story of fear, not run away from fear, but feel it right now. Before I really get into why this download is so special, I want to talk about why we have the biological instinct to run away from fear. So, visualize the scene. You're a caveman and there's a bear standing right over there looking at you like a snack. This bear is approaching you and you feel this large amount of fear rising up inside of you. This fear in this moment manifests adrenaline, and this adrenaline, the hormone or chemical or whatever it is, gives you the ability to run away faster, or if you're crazy enough, to fight the bear with more power, I guess. And basically, this fear gives you the energy to have a higher likelihood to survive. The thing is, most of the things in the modern world that evoke fear in us are not things that put our lives in immediate danger. In terms of belonging in a social circle, it used to be very evolutionarily advantageous to not be your true self and not speak your mind in order to gain acceptance of the tribe or group or whatever you're a part of. Because historically, humans have needed to be a part of a community in order to survive the world. Nowadays, we don't necessarily need acceptance of the tribe or the group in every scenario in order to survive. So that fear, evolutionarily, is still blocking those paths. The reason the fear is still blocking those paths is because we still hold beliefs about ourselves, about the way the world works, etc. So what fear really does when it's blocking us from a certain path or decision, or prohibiting us from doing certain things, is it's an indicator of, hey, you have a belief about this. The only way to really change that belief and unlock that path that's currently blocked by fear is to feel that fear. When fear comes up, we have a biological instinct and we are conditioned to run away from it. Let's say, for example, you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel. However, you're really worried about if you'll be able to amass a following. You're thinking, are people even going to care about what I have to say? What are the people in my life going to think? People are going to think I'm so stupid. People are going to judge me. I'm putting myself out there to be rejected. All of these thoughts and feelings that you're holding around the potential of the bad things that could happen if you go down this path are an indicator to you about the beliefs that you still hold about yourself. And what's so counterintuitive, at least to me, is that getting spiraled into the fear and thinking all of these thoughts about the bad things that can happen, you're not actually feeling fear. You're getting wrapped up in this story as a way to try to think yourself out of the feeling of fear. In my opinion, this is really what anxiety is from my experience. The fear is indicative or a messenger that there's a certain belief that I'm still holding that's prohibiting me from walking this path that I want to walk. Then the fear is so overwhelming that you pull even further away from it and get wrapped up in this feeling of anxiety. You go into this mode of overthinking, spiraling into your head and worrying about everything. And anxiety is there to try to help you to physically and logically control the shit around you so that the things that you fear don't become a reality. So going back to the example of you want to start a YouTube channel. You want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you're even starting to write down video ideas or taking some action on going down that path. But whenever you go a certain length down that road, you encounter this wall of fear. And as I said, our biological instinct is to resist this fear, meaning we get angry at the fear. We're so frustrated that there's this blockage in our path and we're like, God, why can't I do it? I'm so stupid. Like, oh, I should just be able to get through this. Like, why is it so hard for me? And you're not realizing that by getting so frustrated that you're not able to do it, you are actually preventing yourself from feeling the very thing that would allow you to go down that path. And the same with anxiety. When you're like, oh God, what would happen? What am I gonna do? Oh no, this is all gonna go wrong. That's also resisting the fear. In that mode, you're focusing on all the bad things that can happen to try to convince yourself not to do it so you don't have to feel that feeling. Fear is such a powerful and intimidating energy. When we resist fear, we give our energy to it. So we become almost a slave to fear. We become indebted to fear in a sense. And what happens is our beliefs, our limiting beliefs, like I'm not good enough, if I'm rejected, then that means there's something wrong with me. Nobody will ever love me for who I truly am. Life is unfair. The world is against me, etc. All those beliefs create these walls that manifest as fear. And since you're giving your energy to fear, that energy is still yours. That energy isn't gone. What happens is it's almost like your energy is dispersed into all of these time capsules. So if all the energy I've given to the idea of I'm not good enough, it's still my energy. But how do I access that energy? I have to feel the fear, feel the emotion that I gave that energy to in the first place. It's like I ingest this package of my old energy, and by feeling that fear, I gain this pure potential energy that now I can do anything I want with. And what's amazing, like really the beauty that I saw in how fear works in this perspective is the idea of when you give up your energy, in a way, you're almost indicating to the universe that you're not ready to use that energy yet. That you think that your energy is better used and consumed by other people, other entities, etc. The moment you decide that you're powerful enough to rule your life, to be sovereign, and to take that energy for yourself and use it how you want to use it and not just let everyone else take, that fear is waiting for you with all the energy you gave away. That fear is holding the energy for you. Okay, you don't want this now? I'll use it, and when you want it, you come back. It's like putting money into the bank. I don't want to use this money right now. I'm going to put it in the bank. Okay, I'm going to go take out my payment. It's mine. This money that I put into the bank, it's mine. It's always been yours. The energy of fear, all the energy in there is for you. If you feel depleted, if you feel exhausted, it's because you've been giving all of your energy away. And the real way to retrieve that energy is to feel that fear. The problem is, as I said, we are biologically incentivized to run away from it and therefore run away from ourselves. Run away from our own potential energy, run away from our own intuitive path. So, from a long time ago, going back to the example of you want to be a YouTuber and you want to make content online. There's this fear blocking your path. Let's say this fear is an indicator of I'm not good enough and people won't accept me as I am. All the energy you've given to that belief, to that fear, is standing in front of this path, or at least a chunk of that energy is. When you choose to feel that fear, not get wrapped up in the story of fear, not resist the fear or blame the fear, not distract yourself from it, not believing all the thoughts that come up as you feel the emotion, but being truly present in your body with the feeling that's coming up. Suddenly, all that energy that was intimidating you, all of that energy that you were trying to back away from becomes yours. It's at your fingertips. It's in your body. You gain power by feeling that fear. That fear was always a gift for you. Every single time you gave your power away, fear was waiting there for you with all the energy you could have ever wanted. And this whole time, you've been blaming fear for everything wrong with your life. Just think about that for a second. Think about the fact that almost all of humanity is blaming fear for everything wrong with their lives. And in reality, it's one of the greatest gifts. And it's this whole system, this whole program that makes it so that all the energy that we've given away can come back to us, can be ours right now. That's magical. And yet here we are blaming this thing, blaming this emotion. But we're the ones that have chosen to run away from it. We're the ones that fell for the thoughts that said, don't do that, run away. And those thoughts have benefited us too. I'm not going to discredit those thoughts because those thoughts have prevented us from dying probably a million times. Those thoughts are the reason why humanity still exists today. But you don't have to exist in fight or flight anymore. You have the potential and the power to be sovereign. All you have to do is welcome fear into your heart. Because now fear can provide you with all the energy that you thought you lost. So you can think about it this way. Every time fear comes up, every time there's a message of fear, it's an opportunity to upgrade. It's an opportunity to live more into alignment, to unlock your psychic abilities, to be happier in your everyday life, to be living your dream life, to creating your reality. Because when that fear is there, it's saying, hey, here's some energy that you haven't claimed yet that's yours. It's here whenever you want it. All you have to do is feel me and integrate me. It's an opportunity to upgrade yourself and upgrade your entire life. You can continue running away from fear and putting all of your energy in the bank, but why do that when you can have it all now? If you're ready to be a creator, all you have to do is feel the fear. If you want to continue to live the way you're living and live within this small box of disempowerment, then that's fine too. But just realize that every time you run away from fear, that's your choice. And I'm not saying that to blame you or shame you, because believe me, I still make tons of disempowering decisions. This is something I'm still learning and I'm still integrating. So if you're still making disempowered choices, don't feel bad. You've been making disempowered choices your entire life and probably for many, many, many lifetimes. But you have the opportunity now to welcome fear into your heart and gain all that energy that you feel like you don't have. So for the last section of this video, I want to quickly talk about how to feel fear. I think I briefly discussed some of these topics earlier, but I really just want to bring it to you now just so you have a little what to do section or maybe things to think about when fear comes up. The first thing is to be present with the fear. Being present with the fear does not look like getting wrapped up in the story of fear. When you complain about fear, when you tell yourself a story about why that fear is coming up, you are almost fooling yourself into thinking you're addressing it or into thinking you're facing it, when in reality, you're pulling yourself away. So when you're present with fear, you're not believing a story or telling yourself a story. However, the thoughts of the story are still going to come up. What these thoughts are manifestations of why the fear is here in the first place. It's going to be clues and messages as to what limiting belief or beliefs you still hold that is manifesting this fear. So if you have the limiting belief, I'm not good enough. When you feel this fear, maybe a lot of the thoughts that come into your head are, what's wrong with me? I'm such an idiot. I'm so dumb. I need to be different. I need to change. You can either choose to give your energy to those thoughts, therefore putting more of your energy into the fear bank, or you can choose to observe those thoughts. What I do in my meditation a lot, because I'm not quite at the point where I'm always in observer mode, I'll be observing the thoughts and then I start giving energy to a thought. And how you know you're giving energy to it is you realize you're putting your conscious attention into that thought and that thought starts to spiral in its own way. When it's spiraling, that's okay. Your goal is to wake up from the fact that it's spiraling and be like, oh, I'm spiraling into that thought. Okay. Back to center, back to feeling. The thoughts come up, and when you're spiraling into thought, you usually don't notice what feelings are coming up in your body. And you usually don't fully experience the emotion itself. You're spiraling into thought because you're unconsciously trying to pull away from the emotion and you're seeking refuge in the mind. Allow the thoughts to continue to pass, continue feeling the emotions, and every time you spiral, wake up and come back to center. It's a practice of continuing to wake yourself up and become conscious over and over and over again. When you spiral into thoughts, do not worry. I do it. Everyone does it. And every single person that you see who's like I don't even know. Basically, the people who are really in a place where they've done this work for a very long time and are now almost always able to be in observer mode and not spiral into these illusions, they've gone through this too. Okay? Every single person has gone through this process of falling into the spiral. Be gentle with yourself. The harder you are on yourself, the more you're just feeding that energy of fear and reinstating your limiting beliefs. And unfortunately, I don't have a secret tip or trick to give you on how to feel the fear. We get wrapped up in the thoughts of, well, I don't know how to feel it. I don't know what to do. Those very thoughts are pulling away from fear. I can't hand you the answer. You really do have to experience it yourself. I'm sorry I don't have any more specific tips on exactly what you can do to relieve yourself from the struggle of disempowerment and to really step into your sovereignty. The best I can do is give you the knowledge that I have, which is fear is the key. And by feeling fear is how you're going to unlock all the things you want to experience in life. Honestly, I think this message is one of the most powerful messages I've really come to integrate and discover. So, one last announcement I want to make before I fully end the video, which is I have a Patreon right now, but I'm actually planning on canceling it and completely taking it down. What I want to do instead is do YouTube memberships. So, subscribe if you're not already, as long as you enjoy my content, and share this video with anyone else who you think might resonate with it. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I really appreciate all the really awesome, kind messages that I've received, and I love reading your awesome comments and hearing what you guys got from the video. So, thank you, I love you, and I'm so proud of you for being on this journey with me, and have an amazing day or night, whatever it is for you, where you're at in the world. Okay. How do I turn this off? Just kidding. I know how. Oh shit, I forgot. Obligatory shadow shot. Goodbye.